your name, Victor Vescovo, somewhat unique. And I picked up the Sunday newspaper, the Dallas Morning News, that week that we met, and it was talking about the woolly mammoth revival.
Yeah.
The Colossal Biosciences here in Dallas. And it caught my attention, not only because of the story itself, but it identified you as an investor, and it said the famed explorer, Victor Vescovo. And I thought, wait, I just met this guy. Let me learn more about him. So last night, before our interview today, I turned on the national NBC News with Lester Holt, and one of the lead stories is the woolly mice that are now part of the biosciences. You spoke to Ryan and I earlier about investing in things that sort of change, the human experience, advance the human experience, and I'm assuming this is one of them.
Yes.
But you're also an investor, and you said I want to figure out how to monetize that and make money at it as well. How do you monetize? They call it de-extincting. What's the commercial application of that?
There are several methods for monetizing that technology and allowing it to be sustainable. The first is really about the tools. The headline is de-extincting the woolly mammoth and the other animals that we're going after. But to actually bring the woolly mammoth back from extinction, you need a set of tools genetically based that are revolutionary.
Yeah.
That will have massive applications for any type of research, including medical.
Yeah.
That's just the headline. But the very simple way is, if we can de-extinct a woolly mammoth, how much would you pay for a ticket to take your son or grandson to go see a woolly mammoth or a Tasmanian tiger or a dodo bird?
Right.
I know I would pay $20 to see a dodo bird walking around.
Haven't you seen this movie though?
That's dinosaurs, and we can't do dinosaurs. They're you're not going to see velociraptors running around the malls anytime soon. These are animals that typically died, usually because of humans, within the last 50,000 years. So we have their DNA pretty pristine, so we can make this happen. Dinosaur DNA is very fragmented, very, very difficult. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying that's a long time down the road. We have a lot of work to do. So there's that revenue model of simply de-extincting animals and putting them in zoos, and people will pay, and hopefully invigorate people's interest in STEM and science, education. There are also countries and high net worth individuals that are willing to pay exorbitant sums for de-extincted or critically endangered animals, which are even easier to sustain because they're alive or have their pure DNA.
Sure.
There are some critically endangered species that governments will pay enormous sums to ensure their survival. But really at its core, Colossal Biosciences, and I know the CEO very well, that's one reason I invested, I believe very strongly in him and his team, it's a conservation company. If you can de-extinct an animal, that means that any animal on Earth, particularly mammals, which is what we're focused on, you can ensure their survival.
Right.
It's like a seed bank, but now for animals. Not only that, if you get the tools advanced enough, you could have something like a white rhinoceros, and I think there are only 2 left in the world. They're going to go extinct without our help. But theoretically, you could create, not just clone more of them, you could artificially inject some degree of differentiation into the DNA. So from a single animal, you could create a healthy population. That's down the road, but that's one of the big advantages. What value do you place on being able to preserve the biodiversity of our planet, particularly with mammalian species?
Right.
I don't know how to value that.
Right.
I know it's not small.
Right.
And Colossal just recently finished a financing round where it was valued at over 10 billion. It's the first Texas venture capital-based company to reach 10 billion in valuation pre-IPO.
Interesting.
So we're very proud of that.
There's an interesting group of investors named Paris Hilton.
She was very early. I think she just liked the idea, as many people do.
Yeah.
But then I think on subsequent financing rounds, you got people with a little bit more financial and technological potential background. And we were heavily looking at the financial and the technical model, and that's what got me involved.
Right. Fascinating.
It sounds like in that situation, there's a money versus duty type, spectrum. Like, do you do this because you're trying to make money off it, or you do this because it's the right thing to do?
Both. Ideally, in venture capital, there's an overlap. And I think very successful venture capitalists, they're not just being charitable in investing in companies, they also think it's a very good business idea. I say no all the time to very fascinating venture capital ideas because I don't think that they'll work financially or because I think they're a bad technology. But you want both. And there are more than enough opportunities where you can be selective and do both.